And welcome to an episode of Because Liberty. I'm your host, Curtis Hart. In this episode, we're going to be talking a little bit about my campaign for fire commissioner. It's just a paper campaign. And we're going to be talking a little bit actually about some of my haters' attempts to just, I guess, make me look silly. I already know that I'm silly. That's not news to anybody. It's not news to anybody that I'm rude and what's the word I'm looking for? Abrasive. It's not news to anybody that I'm abrasive, folks. So one of my haters, good old Patrick Ryan, he decided that he was going to attempt to run against me. And I'm just going to go ahead and play the video, just run it down really quick, let you guys watch. It's great. Actually just ridiculous. This is just some things that I wanted to point out and just have y'all guys check this out. So check this out. We're going to watch this video right now.
So we are live here with Patrick Ryan outside the Calais County Administration Building. The elections office is on the first floor of the building here, and that is where you come to file for office. I was invited here today to talk to Patrick Ryan about the office that he filed for. And so here we are. Patrick, you have decided to run for public office, and I understand that you filed wrongfully for a position first.
On Tuesday. Yeah.
On Tuesday, you...
Wrong district, so I could no longer file online because of that, so I had to come into the office in person and refile for a different position for Calais 2 Fire and Rescue Fire Commissioner. And yeah.
So, first off, right there, I just gotta call BS on that. So, and I'll show you on my video, when you go to sign up to run for office, you can't accidentally file for the wrong office unless you specifically put in your wrong name, your wrong address, all your wrong voting information. It's got to be all put in incorrectly for you to be able to pull off voting in the wrong district or attempting to run for something in the wrong district. That's just not how it works. So I'm not positive exactly what he did, but it's not what he's saying that he did. Okay, he might have decided that he was going to run for one thing and then decide once he saw that I was going to run for fire commissioner, he was going to run against me. That, I believe, that's what probably happened. This whole malarkey where he somehow ran for the wrong thing in the wrong district, that's just, you don't do that because you type in your information. I'll just show you actually right here. So, as you can see, it's pretty clear. It gives you a spot for your name. It gives you, looks like a spot for your email address. I can't remember exactly what's being typed out right there, but I mean it's your name, your address, your email address, your basic contact information, and then it just gives you your options based from there. So for him to say that he filed in a wrong district or something like that, like, he's been living in the same house for a while, the whole entire time I've known him, which is a couple of years now. Not really sure how you type in the wrong address. That makes zero sense to me. What makes more sense to me is that he, filed for something else completely in his district, because you can't file for something that's not in your district. And then he decided to change his mind because he saw that I was running. Because as you can see here, once you type in your information, it says, what do you want to run for? School board, fire, like here's your options. There it is. So, I mean, to catch him just in a blatant all-out lie, I thought it was kind of funny, because like if you know what you're talking about and if you know how this whole online system works and whatnot, I could just see right through his malarkey just straight out the gate. So, see, that was on my video of me running for office. Clearly, like, you type in your information and it tells you what you can run for. There's no, I accidentally ran for the wrong thing in another district. That's just some lying malarkey right there. Let's continue.
And yeah, that's why I'm here today. I just want to help the community more than, I want to go beyond what I've done with Stone Soup.
So he's saying that he wants to help the community beyond what he's done with Stone Soup. And that would be great if that's why he ran, but like that's not why. And we'll find out later why, because in another one of his videos, he straight up talks about wanting to run against me, without realizing that there's already an incumbent in there who's doing it just.
That's why I'm here today. I just want to help the community more than I want to go beyond what I've done with Stone Soup and what we've done with the community. I just want to help out wherever I can. I thought this would be a good fit for me. So, yeah.
So the reasons why you're running for fire commissioner are, you had mentioned that you were a junior firefighter when you were younger here in our area, and that's something that has interested you. And then you also see the dangers that our first responders are having to respond to out in the community right now with all the needles and all the other kind of things that are out there like that. So
Correct. There's a lot of dangers in our community right now that we don't need to have. The needle exchange is a program that isn't working. That's something that needs to be addressed as well. These people go out and do their jobs. They don't need to be walking through somebody's yard and get stuck on a needle and potentially get Hep C or HIV. You know, again, it's about citizens helping our first responders. I think it's
So while I do totally agree with Patrick Ryan about that little point right there, it's just funny to me because there's absolutely nothing that's going to be done about the needle problem. Nothing. There's nothing that's going to be done about the drug problem here in Cowlitz County. Not a single thing. We are too close to I-5, folks. This is just called reality. Don't know if you are aware of this, but right now we have a situation over in the Philippines where the Philippines president it's just all out like warfare. It's generally okay to go out and like murder people that deal drugs over there. They have a situation where like you get caught dealing drugs, they take you out and they just behead you. I think that's what they got going on over in Saudi Arabia. Pretty sure that's what the situation over there is. And you know what they still have, folks? They still have people using drugs because none of that works. So I mean, this whole war on drugs, it's just really funny to me because we all know it's not going to work. Nothing's going to work. The state's going to continue funding the needle program. That's just how that works. So there we go. That's just really funny to me. That video was just hilarious. So Patrick Ryan's all talking about wanting to run to help the community, which is cool, but not really what he was doing because, yeah, it's just malarkey. He tried saying that he filed for some sort of office on Tuesday. I'm curious as to what that was and how you go about online filing for the wrong thing when it tells you just to enter your name and your address and your date of birth and all that stuff, and the rest of it is just right there. So I don't know if you just spew malarkey all the time and expect no one to like catch on. Oh, what is that? No, I'm busy, dude. I'm not sure if Patrick Ryan thinks that he's just gonna like go and say that he did something that's I'm pretty sure is impossible to do and not be called on it. This just, I don't know. It's called fake news, I'm pretty sure, because I don't think that that's possible to do unless you're just committing all-out voter fraud, some type of fraud. Because as long as you put your information in, what pops up is what you're eligible for. I know this because I've ran for several offices. This one, not really running. I'm just running so I can get my name and my statement put into the voter's guide, which I totally made it through the edit that part out. Which totally made it through the primary because Patrick Ryan decided to drop out. He claims he changed his reasoning up. So not really positive what his actual reasons was. He claims that he wanted to watch me. Well, we'll just watch the video here.
Hello, my name is Patrick Ryan, and I filed to run for Cowlitz Fire and Rescue Position 1 yesterday against Curtis Hart and another gentleman. So I found it.
So notice this, okay? This is important to note, people. I filed to run against Curtis Hart, and then he throws in another gentleman's name. He doesn't actually name the other gentleman. The other guy's name is Scott Neves, okay? I suggest that you vote for Scott Neves. He is way more qualified than I am. Thank God Patrick Ryan dropped out of the race because he is one of the dullest individuals I have ever met in my entire life. Okay, this video right here is just takes the cake on stupidity and short-sightedness and not thinking things through. So, yes, guy's name's Scott Neves. He only mentions my name. Now, when you're talking about elections, you don't mention the other person's name. You don't mention your opponent's name. You mention your name in case people are only remembering the one name. Okay? You want name retention. You don't want them thinking of somebody else's name. Remember that race that's going on, and there's one jerk and there's one guy that's good, and the only name I remember is Curtis Hart. That's a good sounding name. I'll vote for him. Yeah. When in fact, no, you should be voting for Scott Neves because he is the more qualified candidate. Okay? But, Pat here doesn't understand that, so instead he makes this little video where he just talks about my name and how he was running against me. I mean, this is just great. So there's this thing called the primary, and if he thought that he was just so smart and his ideas were better than mine and he was really running to help the community, then he would have done that, and he would have just beat me out in the primary. But he wasn't running to help the community at all. He was just running to try to make me look like a numbskull. I can look like a numbskull all on my own, folks. Watch me do it, dude. Give me a chance. Watch me do it. Read my campaign statement when it comes out in the voter's guide. But yeah, good old Pat here. Like, he just, I don't know. He didn't even believe in himself enough to knock me out of the primary. He just quit. But we'll go ahead and watch some more of this.
Today, the other gentleman is a Castle Rock police officer. I have the utmost respect for them, and I have withdrawn my name.
So, just going to throw this out there.
Hello, my name is Patrick Ryan, and I filed to run for Cowlitz Fire and Rescue Position 1 yesterday against Curtis Hart and another gentleman. So I found out today the other gentleman is a Castle Rock police officer. I have the utmost respect for them, and I
have the utmost respect for them. Nobody buys that, dude. And then you punch that dude. But, yeah. Okay.
have withdrawn my name from the race because I really want to see Curtis get his ass handed to him by a police officer, because none of them like him, and very few of us do.
So that is just great. It really comes out right there what his weak ass intentions were. He just wanted to watch me get my ass handed to me by a police officer, which I could give a shit less if it happens, because I'm banking on that happening. Literally just trying to get a statement put into the voter's guide. And I won. Totally got that, because you decided to drop out and you couldn't even beat me yourself. Like, oh, Curtis is gonna lose to a cop. No shit, Sherlock. No fucking kidding. What'd you fucking expect to happen? I'm gonna run a serious campaign against a cop and fucking expect to win?
I'm not gonna suck your dick.
Oh, that's too bad, because you would fucking enjoy it, I'm sure.
And a 6-year seat? It's a bunch of policy and budget for 6 years. I really don't feel like doing that. I mean, if I happen to win somehow, I would totally do the job, but I really don't want to do that. So, gonna go ahead and let this cop do that, just like my intentions were. Not gonna win, but Pat's dumb, so he's just like, oh, dropped out because I really want to watch Curtis get beat by a cop. Wouldn't it be more embarrassing to get beat by Patrick frickin' Ryan? I certainly think so. But he couldn't beat me, and he knows it, and that's why I dropped out. So let's continue on with the video.
So, that's the news.
Oh, yeah, and he mentions how, like, oh, just none of the cops like Curtis Hart. I could really give a fuck less about that. Honestly, folks. Don't give a shit if the cops like me or not. Quit being a social justice warrior and get butthurt every time I say something you don't like. My lord. Grow a sack. Patrick Ryan, this guy, literally tried to take me to court and get a fucking no contact order because I said mean things to him on Facebook. Fucking literal definition of a pussy snowflake. Let's continue on with the video. Yeah, don't vote for Curtis. Curtis says vote for the other guy. That's my campaign slogan.
For today, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Okay, so there we go. That's just some of the funny things that you'll see there when you watch Patrick Ryan and listen to his malarkey. It's just a bunch of bullshit. It just says a lot about a person and how much they put thought into things when they do shit like this. Like, he actually tries to act like he's dropping out so that Curtis could get just beat by a cop. Newsflash, no kidding. Curtis is going to lose anyways. Curtis loses every single freaking race I enter. And I fully know it. I'm entering as a libertarian, folks. It's not like we're running around winning shit, except for me being an asshole. Oh, would have run my race if it wasn't for me being an asshole. No, not a thing that's being said, okay? It's just not. Just like it's not a thing that's being said where libertarians are losing race, except for Arvin spoke out about the military. All right? Another thing that's not being said, okay? Because we're losing races anyways. It's okay. It's not a big deal. But it's just great that I won the primary and I beat out Patrick Ryan. This is just excellent because when you look at the, on paper, it shows that I won one of my races because Patrick Ryan quit. What? Vote for the other guy or vote for your fucking self. So, gonna read you my candidate statement. So, there's a candidate statement that I turned in to the elections department. This is what's going to be printed and sent out in the voter's guide to all the voters in Cowles County. So, here. Let's talk about self-ownership and liberty for a moment. Well, first off, let's get this out of the way. Vote for yourself or vote for the other guy, because I'm certainly not the best person to make these types of decisions. How's that for some choice? Well, look at your ballot and look at how many seats go uncontested every single year. Hardly anybody gets involved, yet everybody complains and says that they get to because they voted. That's not enough anymore, people. Y'all need to get more involved than just voting once or twice a year. Then I just straight up go on this little liberty tirade. We should strive to live in a society based on voluntary exchange and have maximum individual liberty, which is living one's life free from outside force or influence as long as it is not infringing on the life, liberty, or property of another person. Taxation is theft. The state shouldn't be using their monopoly on the use of force to achieve political and social goals. I believe in absolute free speech for everybody. I believe we need to take secession all the way down to the individual so we can be happy and free. Quia libertas. That's because liberty in Latin. So that is the voter statement. All right? Straight out just says to vote for the other guy. I'm still betting that I'm going to end up with some ridiculous amount of votes. I'm betting you somewhere along the lines of 10 to 20%. Because last time I ran for this office, this particular one, I got 33% of the vote. Okay, I got a full-on third. All right, this time, I don't think I'm going to get anywhere near that, but I still bet you I end up with some ridiculous amount. So that's just how it is. People don't really pay attention. So this is kind of like a social experiment to see how many people don't pay attention but still end up voting. Because if you pay attention at all, you'll know to either vote for yourself or vote for the other guy, Scott Neves. All right. So this is the part where, if you're an actual serious candidate, you can, type your name as it is, as you want people to call you. If you're not a serious candidate, if you're just running a paper campaign, to kind of show people that there's not much choice out there, which is what I'm doing. If you type in hardly any choice. This is pretty much ensuring a victory for the guy that's already in there, which is exactly what was going to happen anyways, because that's what happens when I run for things. So, I'm an anarcho-capitalist. I believe in self-ownership, so I'm going to be voting for myself. I went on my phone, and I didn't do it on my phone, I went on my laptop, and I filed to run for office. Actually, I did it at the voters' place, but it's something you do online. You do it online down there at the elections office. But anyways, I ran for office so I can vote for myself, but I vote for myself anyways because I'm an anarcho-capitalist. I think you should do the same thing, or vote for Scott Neves. This is Curtis Hart. Be happy and free, because liberty.